be going to the grand finals here currently. So if things sit as they do stand right now, sit, stand, we have Freestyle, No Chance Team, Morph Team, and Nova Godlike Ultra finals.
And it's looking extremely likely that it's going to be those 4 teams. Reject Scout is not playing Morph Team, Nova Godlike. They have played 10 games. They have 61 and 54 points. But I will give it to Frost, though. Frost, are they out yet?
Is it still possible?
It's still possible.
Okay.
It is closer. You have a high chance of hitting a hole-in-one on a par 4 course in golf and getting into finals, I'd say.
Is that difficult?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, you have 4 shots to...
4 shots, yeah.
Par 4 is...
All right.
So usually you don't get all the way to the
that is
green
playing
on one shot.
that is playing at a very, very high level as well. Like you're playing on par.
I love
it is still possible.
It is still possible.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say it's as for these guys to qualify, I would say it's as likely that if you randomly put a mug on a train ride that takes 1 hour, then you have to throw out a coin and then hitting it. That's the
Okay. Wait. No. I got a better one.
I got the train, or
no. You have to throw out the coin at any random. You don't know where the mug is placed on this 1 hour train ride.
Yeah.
No.
And you have to throw out a coin
next to the train.
You have to throw out a coin out the window.
This is
and
very
hit this mug.
Wait. You do know how to say like thunder doesn't hit the same, strike the same place twice, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, for them to make it to finals, it would be the lightning striking 3 times on the same spot.
Guys. Stop!
Still possible.
What's going on?
It's possible, but
we're talking likeliness.
Yeah.
I know.
Probability.
This is just very convoluted. I mean, yours was thunder. It's not even thunder. It's light anyway.
Yeah, lightning.
Where going now? I'm not just top 10 by damage. Let's do that. That was ridiculous. That was all over the place. We've got G9 up to one. Whoa, Jonathan though. Holy moly.
He's close.
Hey!
Less than 200 damage, guys.
I mean, I think that Jonathan will actually take over G9 today. I think it's possible. I think it's going to be done right here today.
So?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It is so close, but also the performance from Jonathan has just been phenomenal. It's been on par all the time on the top.
Yeah.
Well, G9 has been dipping up and down. But one thing to not take away is, of course, G9's nade kills. 16 nade kills.
Yeah.
He's so good with the nades. Jonathan, on the other hand, he's a good shooter. He doesn't need that many nade kills. He only got 3 because he shoots them instead.
Guys, do you think if 2 trains strike twice in the same spot after throwing a coin off a train, do you think... No, sorry, I'll stop.
That was terrible.
Yeah, you're bad.
Again. Let's take a look at the schedule. We've got 5 games coming today. We will have Erangel, Vikendi, Miramar, Sandhawk, and Erangel to round things out. These are the last chances for all of these teams to put points on the board for the league final. Of course, this is the Super Weekend. Can we change the Grand Finals name to the Ultra Grand Finals? Because it needs to level up from Super.
Right, so what is higher than Super?
Ultra.
Ultra?
Ultra.
What is higher as well?
Mega? No, Mega's under Ultra.
Giga?
Giga is above Ultra.
But
we're not going to call it the Giga Grand Finals.
I would say that's
That's a bit rubbish, I think. Anyway, let's take a look at also what you can be doing in-game as well, because if you're watching in-game and if you've been accumulating points already, you can still keep accumulating points and potentially be top 100 in the viewers. Frost just spent all his points, and I rolled him the Psychopath set in the lucky draw.
Well, that's another one.
That's a different
one. Of course,
one.
You need to watch the games to earn those points, which no one believed that I was doing.
Why did they not believe you?
I don't know. They saw me do it yesterday. Wait. He's actually doing it.
Yes, you said you were doing it.
I have been doing it the whole time.
Weird.
Disqualify him.
I don't know.
From the top 100.
Let's hear what they have to say about it. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's time to head over to the commentating team now for our first Erangel of the day. Let's go, Xander and John.
Oh, man, honestly, I'm just a little bit spaced out. I mean, you know, the possibilities are endless, but apparently the probabilities are minuscule, and we learned all about that with our resident mathematical analysts expanding their brains all over the broadcast. Absolutely love it. The trains, brilliant, fantastic, triple lightning strikes. What more do you want? What more do you want?
Triple! No, can we not go further into this?
That's what he said. He said triple lightning strikes.
He said triple lightning strikes.
I know.
Okay, well, let's go for the quadruple lightning strikes with the 444 on the board for Box Gaming. They're doing pretty
Oh, okay.
damn well. It's the 4-4 fret, you know, it's how it is. But I'm really excited for Box Gaming. But if we take a look at that leaderboard again, right? If you look towards the top, they're with 5 chicken dinners. They've got the most chicken dinners on that top leaderboard from 1st to 8th place, which is ridiculous. And that all comes down to the fact that when Box Gaming, they get the box fort, they take those chickens.
Well, I can give you with some degree of certainty, a prediction here, Blank. One team will remain at the end of this game.
Yes, they will, John.
And that is with a probability of 1. We are going to be getting into match number 1. It's the final day of Super Weekend play, Blank. We are ready to decide our finalists.
Oh, we are blasting off here into the first map from Mill to Power down to Pmwl. So a bit of a cruel circle to start out the day, John, to decide that who gets that 50 grand at the end of all this. Because it's a lot of money. A lot of green on the cards here.
Currently set 21 points clear, of course. RRQ Athena on 465. So if they can maintain that distance over the next 5 games, they should be all right. It's a question of can Box Gaming and Bigatron play that 5-point average more per game today to be able to close that gap.
Exactly, John. And the weird thing for RQ at the moment is they've got to deal with a pesky little fly in their area of Pachinki. Nova Godlike seem to be consistently dropping on top of them, so it causes slight issues, slight kerfuffles towards the start of the game here, where Nova Godlike have to maybe pick their fights a little bit differently.
However, if there's a team that can handle hot drops, I think RRQ would be up there in terms of the best choices. 207 kills, Blank. They're sat very, very clear of the next team there. Bigatron Red Aliens, 183.
Oh, that kills the man right there for RRQ. They've decided to go down to Primos.
Wow.
Not actually going to Pachinki anymore, worrying about Nova Godlike ruining their chance at the start of the game. But in fact, Pachinki is central in this circle. So we'll see how RRQ do deal with this. Obviously, in the western side of the circle, it's fairly barren most of the time. We know that this East League, they love the East so much, they go to the east of Erangel every single time. And you only have a few teams playing on the west towards Gatka. For instance, Team Secret, Morph Team, and now also RRQ.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to affect the dynamic in the West. Obviously, on your screens, you can see them in Primorsk. So we'll see if they can move up, take control away from Morph of that western side, which has really been their sort of area. They've been comfortable there, but now they've got the top dogs in town.
They would like to be comfortable, like you say, a chilled out start to their game, keep it more relaxed, and then get those rotations in later. We've seen from them, they take one knock right, then they get flushed, then things start to go downhill from there. The rotations don't work out. So I respect this. I respect this from RRQ Athena, going down to Primos, deciding, you know what, let's keep things happy. Let's keep the team chilled out at the beginning. Team Secret, on the other hand, they're up towards Gatka. So at some point, RRQ Athena will bash into this team if they want to rotate up to the northeast. And it's interesting to see, John, that, you know, Team Secret, they used to send that forward scout towards Ruins, towards where Orange Rock was playing. But this time, they're keeping it very central towards Gatka, just looting around the fields there, understanding that there are a lot of teams towards Rozhok. They don't want to lose anyone early.
Yeah, well, speaking of all the teams towards Rozhok, you can see on your screens, you've got Valdus, the murder in the town itself. King of Gamers a little bit further south towards School. You've got Orange Rock southwest of that. And then all the way down in Pachinki, you've even got Nova Godlike. So there's a lot of teams occupying this central area.
And if we take a look at...
Is a lot.
Four many
Large
teams. Number. But Orange Rock, they're not scouting out the north side of the river this time, John. They're in fact playing a 2-2 split here. As we all know, I am the big fan of the 2-2 split, just because it's mainly fun to say, and it rolls off the tongue. But they're not going...
They were doing this yesterday as well, actually.
Yeah, so they were starting early, heading over towards Watertown, and you like it a little bit more. What is Veru wearing?
I think there's a box on his head.
A box on his head.
He's trying to cosplay as Box Gaming. You know, they're doing very well. So he wanted to channel some of that energy and bring it to the rest of Orange Rock. I mean, they're currently sat in 10th place. They want to ladder up, get a little bit more cash.
I would say it was more like a cardboard, like you know those grocery bags?
Paper bag.
Paper.
Is that the word you're looking for?
No, I was looking for a grocery bag in particular. Thank you very much. And he's wearing a potato sack. So I don't know what kind of energy you're thinking of, but that's not the royal energy that I'm getting from Box Gaming at all. Anyway, back to the game itself. Udu Gank over in Severny. they're going to be heading down south. I'll be pretty happy with this. TSM Entity also towards Yasnaya are in a decent position. Now, I do think, I was feeling this yesterday, that TSM Entity, they're on a roll. I believe that with the energies flowing forward from yesterday's games in a wrangle, where we do have your boy Neo starting to step up in a big way, as well as Jonathan. I think that TSM Entity is starting to really find that cadence and start to speed it up, getting towards those triple figures in terms of RPM.
Getting up there. Orange Rock did scout out just north of the river briefly before bringing them back over towards Sunken City. The crossing from the river could prove to be pretty tricky here for Udo Gank if they have to move down South Blank. Obviously, with so many teams around Rozhok, that central crossing area is going to be relatively occupied. They might consider moving out towards Georgiopol and taking those bridges. We'll see if they do so.
I would say that that would be probably the smartest decision, to go down to where Morph is currently playing. I would much rather face them than face TSM Entity, who is a hugely aggressive team. I think Morph is just trying to get towards those later circles. We've seen them snaking around many times. Whereas you could get TSM Entity try and cross on Yasnaya, and TSM Entity be like, put him up, fight me.
Oh yeah,
fight me. But you don't really want that. So if I'm Udo, I'm probably thinking about going over to the west side.
That was unfortunate for Gil. I don't know if he wanted to hit the floor there, but it looked like he was trying to jump onto the roof. And then he just sort of fell short. That's the most disappointing, when you're trying to jump across a gap and you just fall short and you're just like, I've messed up.
I've beans this.
I have thoroughly beans my experience right now.
Yeah, where your character kind of puts their hands up against the wall and just slides down and you feel so defeated.
So, Kalaris is trying to show me his own face on his phone, and I know...
That's weird.
Yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, Kalaris... But you hit us with the triple lightning strikes. Now you're trying to show us your own face.
I think he's putting it on his Instagram story. He was very proud of that. So if you go and check that one out, I'm sure we'll be able to see it. What is it, at KLRS or at KLRS?
I don't know. His name is so complicated on
Nobody knows how to spell it. Nobody knows at all. It's impossible, in fact.
I have him...
The letters haven't even been invented yet.
I have him in my phone as K-La-Reese, because it's the only where I can really remember it.
Oh, dear. Orange Rock, they've regrouped now fully towards Sunken City, and they'll be guarding that cross. TSM Entity making a rotation across to the north side here. They're going to guard Udo.
Put him up, Udo. Put him up.
Wow, okay.
They're coming for you. This time, they can't actually chase Reject Skull out towards the Bobcat. So they're coming across to give a Udo Gank a little bit of a surprise early on in the game. But most teams very central, and we saw an ending like this yesterday. I think it really from the last game, wasn't it, John? Where we ended up in Rozhok, and we had box gaming towards the warehouses, as we saw that like kind of the stairs upwards into Rozhok, and they were able to hold it on to. They got lucky with the final circle, right? But they certainly played it very well. Some really good smokes coming out from that team to defend the location, defend the fort.
TSM Entity, this is the rotation I was talking about. They went across the river outside Yasnaya, and they're swinging all the way out towards Georgiopol and crossing there, where we talked about potentially Udo wanting to cross. So they're going to make their entry here. Morph yet to take the fight with them. Not sure if they've spotted it out. I imagine they're aware of this presence. I mean, it'd be pretty difficult not to hear these vehicles, to see them crossing the river. But either way, TSM Entity get across.
Pretty easily as well,
no challenge.
Yeah, no challenge. Morph, on the other hand.
Okay.
Nades in hand, just underhanding them. Neo drops out. He's going to cross the bridge side here. Zay just gets knocked immediately. There was no contest there between the two of them.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate for Morph, losing a player early. Spin around the side, Clutch God able to get the flush.
That's two.
Frenzy wants to try and snake his way around, but the DP for Clutch God will be able to just spray down the players from Morph. Frenzy in the lawn will be trimmed himself. And that's the final Morph player getting taken down. TSM Entity, they run the lawnmower over.
I am somewhat surprised.
That was rapid.
Pikachu surprise face is all I could say. That was like, oh, Morph going to fight with TSM Entity. TSM Entity win within 10 seconds. Okay. I mean, it's what we expect from this team.
I guess it is a strategy.
It is a strategy. I mean, apparently it works at TSM Entity, and they keep proving themselves to be this very aggressive team with extremely good gun skill. I'm loving it. I'm loving it to bits. Next up comes through hard shift over to the north side. So shooting range still in this circle. The river that passes through from Georgia Pole over Rozhok still in this one too. Most teams just trying to find those compounds early on, and you do still have to cross the bridge. TSM should be aware of the position of Yudu and the fact that they've not crossed yet. So camping this bridge would be wise, in my opinion. And here's U level up. Already taken a knock. They've been having some really good games recently. It would be unfortunate for them to go out so early in the first map of the final day of the final Super Weekend.
It's proper play of the ridgeline here for Nova Godlike. They've got the backstop a little bit further back, and they're just peeking over the top. They've got control of the Pachinki Church, so they have great vantage points here. Will they be able to control teams trying to move in? RRQ, they've left Primorsk now, and they're in the foothills to the west of Everest. They will be controlling that western side, and obviously with Morph not being there, they got a free reign.
Yeah, they've got hugely free reign. Anyway, if we look towards the northwest here, Yudu actually, like I said, crashing into TSM Entity. They held them, and now we can watch as this fight unfolds. Butch God should be able to get this spray.
No one's trying to fight with TSM Entity right now. They're all backing away into the wings here. Neo and Clutch God on that 2-2 split. Jonathan going to be leading up the charge at the other side of the battle, and Yudu, they send away, they leave one of their players behind. Jumper is all but done for.
They actually go to the other side of the bridge. They're like, okay, we don't want anything to do with that. That's fine. We can leave. We'll go back to from whence we came. TSM Entity, like you're saying, John, hold this down pretty damn well. To their south, though, there is Team Secret, as well as RRQ is currently holding on top of Mount Everest. So still danger in the wings for them, and they should be cautious. See on the map there, Team Secret Zedgot actually taking a good shot from across the way, but here's the look-see, fantastic spray, Goddard goes down.
Nice find, nice pickup. Valdus the Murder out the back of the warehouse. This is such a difficult area to play, Blank. It's right in the middle of what is definitely called Headshot Valley and not Rolling Hills.
Yeah, I would agree. Rolling Hills is just a silly name. It's not angry enough for the amount of action that goes on here. Headshot Valley is just far better.
It's a superior name in every aspect.
Absolutely. The desk hates us.
Absolutely. What else are we here for, you know, if not to provide a
annoyance
to the desk. That's kind of our whole vibe, right? Valdus the Murder, they have one knock, but it is going to be picked up, and there we go. Another shot lands. T1 over the ridgeline. Armjohn trying to suppress with that DP, gets a little bit of damage towards Missile, but there's a nade coming from Bigatron, and Martin hits the deck.
Yeah, currently they're really crunched very hard. Like, they're feeling the squeeze from a couple of teams. Next circle, ooh, heads off to the west, and RRQ, though, currently on top of Mount Everest, they have a lot of zone here to play around with, and no one is behind them. Yudugan could potentially head towards crates and go for a flank side, but there is a massive amount of this circle which is slightly more unplayable now.
T1 have got a pretty decent line of fire here. They are 2-2 split. Seems to be quite a common occurrence in this map. Blank, Valdus the Murder, they are surviving for now. Orange Rock, they've spotted out two of the players from T1. And it's already a knock over towards ZZP and will be flushed out. Marvi able to finish it off with a nade. Valdus the Murder trying to pop it in. Uh-oh, it's four players in a car in Headshot Valley. And they are going to be rolling out towards T1, towards Orange Rock. Bigatron don't know about it. They might know about it, but they aren't going to be able to take any shots anymore. The cover's been found. It's dangerous for Valdus the Murder, but they make it to the next ridge.
Keep it nice and slow. And Seidan tries to get away, but does not expect the four-man crash.
Wow, okay, fair enough. That's one hell of a pull-up. Valdus the Murder get themselves a kill. They'll be getting on with that one soon to follow. They'll have to rotate into the next circle, and they're four in a car yet again, but you level up crashing on with King of Gamers right now. Horsschwein right at the back, taking a lot of damage. Nades around the side to try and funnel King of Gamers into the middle of this compound.
It doesn't feel like King of Gamers are ready for this fight either, because usually they have Braga off on an off angle fairly much towards the backstop of the fight. This time they're all together, so you level up might have a better chance, but they've already taken one knock. It's currently 3v4, and that's Mao down 2 with BTR coming into this fight also, so a third party enters the fray.
Having left the compound they were holding earlier, Bigatron are going to enter the fray, as you say, Blank. These smokes blooming are really controlling where this fight can go. It's pushing it into the middle of all of these yellow houses. And if King of Gamers want to try and change that up, they're going to have to go around the side that Horsschwein is currently covering.
You level up here. They've picked up the controller. They've pressed pause on this fight. They're going to wait with the soft tunes on the loading screen. But right now, it's a little bit of a difficult situation for them, especially with having one player down. BTR just looking for more players here. But you imagine the 2 players from You Level Up most likely will go down here as Ryzen just starts to pick them apart.
Schau got knocked there earlier, so it's now 4 players for King of Gamers versus 2 from You Level Up. 8 damage found onto Xiaoxian. Looks to want to heal this, but Braga going in close, trying to find that window peak, find the angles, trying to sneak in, and it's going to be You Level Up taking the flush onto Schau as they enter the building. Bossa first in, but ducks back. Braga goes down. It's 1-for-1. Bossa very low. Wants to find the trade, but Winter with the drop shot holds one off, but no more to be found. King of Gamers able to wipe out You Level Up.
With 2 players in a decent position, but BTR, they should have heard that fight concluding. And if I was them, I'd be in prime position just to go for the BTR Classic, but okay. Get your clip-ons on, because we're going to go up your crampons on, sorry, and get up the mountainside, because this is one hell of a finish.
Goodness me, Everest. We haven't had one of these circles in a while. Blank, I'm really excited. RRQ, without Morph on that western side, they were able to take it for free. And it's coming back to pay in buckets. Very, very strong shift for them. Team IND down in the foothills on the southwest. They have a real strong compound to hold them out, but there's 3 teams in that area. 2 teams wanting to push into the Megastars and Box Gaming.
Team Secret take the safe choice here towards the bottom of Mount Everest and actually hold on to the compound down there. But in this situation, RRQ are in a far better spot gambling on the circle heading over here, which is unreal, by the way, but they will have a fantastic time for it. GXR Celts, they've managed to get 1 insurgent towards the top side in terms of rocks, and that's about it.
Valdus the Murder guarding the bridge. Gil trying to swerve, trying to get out of the way, but it's not going to happen. Viru tries to answer, but Marvi sending it across is unlucky as well. Orange Rock down to 1, just Viru on the other side of the river. Low HP, he's forced to go for the heal. Will be able to get that first aid off, but he's spotted out, and again, it's just going to be wiped, and that is going to be Orange Rock eliminated. GXR Celts went down as well. Plenty of kills starting to pop off.
In the meantime, Rox has been taken down from on top of the rocks of Mount Everest by TSM Entity, who are now trying to vibe a position on top of Mount Everest, but Orange Rock there just removed by Valdus the Murder, and you have to admit, Valdus the Murder have been taking some very risky moves, but it's been paying off with the mechanical skill on board.
King of Gamers eliminated. Double team there from Team Secret and Nova Godlike. I think Nova Godlike able to steal away quite a few of those kills as well. So a nice pickup for them. Team Secret, they are in the circle. They have a compound on that eastern side.
Let's take a minute, though, to see what's going on the top of Mount Everest.
Hang on a
minute.
Look at that. Okay. Bigatron just wiped out Nova Godlike.
That was instantaneous. There's been some seriously fast squad wipes this game. It feels like we're playing on fast forward at the moment. TSMNC still looking for position, but Gang also moving up Mount Everest. And why wouldn't you? There's really nowhere else to play at the moment. So I'm very curious to see where the next circle does head off to. And if we do actually get that fabled Mount Everest finish. You see here, this is the compound I was talking about from Team Secret. It's the safe play where you're not expecting the circle to land on top of Mount Everest, and it gives you a fairly decent position. And Mantoy just playing forward scout here, trying to prevent BTR from getting into the circle. We are already down to 33 alive and 9 teams remaining on Circle 4, John.
You do gank. Really struggling to summit the mountain at the moment. 2 players got knocked. They managed to get 1 res off, and they'll be looking for that next to keep all 3 of their remaining players alive. But unfortunately, Fredo not going to be revived here. So 2 players for Yudu Gank on the northern side of Everest.
Can't forget about Team IND, though, who will be heavily looted up from Sosnovka military base. Pretty much got the pick of the litter down there, and they've moved on their way up. They are very much next to Megastars. You can see Vexy, the star player from this team, is currently down, crawling back towards his teammates. So they're in a slightly rough position without the best of compounds that Team IND currently have obtained for themselves.
Megastars, they're behind the lip of the road, so they're relatively covered. Box Gaming did spot them out. They'll be aware of that location. But now Bigatron are definitely going to know that Box are in the area, and Team Secrets, they spotted out Bigatron as well. A lot of damage and a lot of red health bars there for Bigatron.
Goodness.
The circle shift comes in, Blank.
It is the fabled finish. So we will be landing on top of Mount Everest. It is. It's time to get that hike on for the boys in the lobby. TSM on the eastern side, they'll have a pretty easy approach here, but currently RRQ in a really strong position. They got D2E trying to prevent people from coming back from the western side. Beer 11 now moving over to try and give him some support, but they will have all teams looking at them atop Kings of the Hill right now.
RRQ have a difficult task ahead of them, but there's plenty more difficulty going on right now in the southeastern fields. This push is going to be deadly, Blank. I would be surprised if any of these teams makes it across, to be honest.
Yeah, you are just going to get shut out. I think the saving grace is the fact that all these teams on top of Mount Everest will be worrying about getting pushed on as soon as they start taking shots towards the bottom of the mountain. I think more than anything, it's going to be these teams pushing up towards Mount Everest, which are going to be shooting at one another. Box Gaming tries to take position here, moving forward. BTR just gets in line with them. Now takes shots off. That's Luxy hitting Pmwl. Pmwl goes down.
RRQ defending the top of the mountain as well against TSM Entity, but Loki able to trade off with Bigatron. Luxy falls on the ridge side. The blue is pushing right now, Blank, which means they do not have a lot of time. Pmwl is basically done for here. They can't invest that time, get them into the circle. It's just not going to work. They're going to slow it down. They don't want to lose any more than they have to. Microboy spots ahead, but it's ducked behind cover as soon as it's popped. TSM Entity trying to crest the ridge, but Team Secret playing spoiler now from the eastern side. They've made that push across to the mountain, and they've got a bit of cover, but they're not in the zone.
Zed got down, and Matoy is taking a hefty flank here, but look at Team Secret. They're just swarming onto this position.
Oh, it's such a difficult push to make as well, and you got RRQ just sat there waiting, sitting pretty right now. Up they go, Bigatron trying to make the push as well. They've looking to take on RRQ right at the top. Okay, hang on a minute, it's a four-man crash. G9 goes down first. Bigatron rattle into the fight. They are not going to go down easily. Ryzen, however, has been knocked on the back. Nade cooking for Microboy. Wants to send it up towards RRQ, towards Beer, and the nade is popped. Oh, it's a double knock for Bigatron onto RRQ. It's just D2E on the summit, and Microboy has another in the back pocket. D2E found. Beer taken down to half HP on the res. D2E getting pushed on. It's Zuxi. Goes for the spray. And RRQ are taken down. Bigatron claimed the top of Everest.
We hear you. We see you, Bigatron. What a push from you guys. Straight up the hill from a nade in hand. An explosive ending there to that fight. But still, it's all on the line. Bigatron may have claimed the crown atop the hill, but how long can they hold on to it for as Team Secret start to crest up onto their position? Nexo comes through, heads towards the east side. Currently, you do actually hold on to prime position here towards the bottom of the mountain. Team Secret will have to push up, as will Box Gaming, but we can't count Team IND out yet. They're still on the western side, biding their time, John, waiting.
Goodness me, that fight, so indicative of what's been going on this game. A single nade causing an avalanche of events that plays into a rapid squad wipe. Beautiful stuff. Now, Bigatron have to move across the top of this ridge, but IND are at their back.
They are going to make it a slightly more difficult. Ryzen is down. They're just waiting
nades,
to take the
smokes.
push. Like you say, smokes, nades, the bombardment begins. We'll see how far Team IND can take this one. They look how looted up. Freeze across the board for Trans, and that's what you get from coming from Sosnovka and not taking any fights whatsoever. All of the resources are full, but you can see BTR, the vests are starting to take damage. How much longer can they hold on to this position? That is the question I will keep asking.
T1, they've just been chilling on this other side, but Bigatron, they want to start to push in, and they will find a knock on towards Box. I think they managed to get the flush as well, as Zuxi does get traded out by Loki on the nade. Team IND choose this time to make that push, and so do Box. Look how close they are. They've taken the same route Bigatron did before, and with Zuxi being knocked, there's no one to go for that first face. Team IND pushing onto the position as well. All four of them are there. A single nade might turn the tides, but Blank, Bigatron, they still need to move across.
This is seriously courageous from Box Gaming. They know there's a fight going on up here with two teams, but they're priming themselves in position to try and clean up the scraps here. But Team IND, they are not losing members whatsoever. And at this rate, it's going to be Box Gaming going 2v4. Luxy, though, still alive, finds the one.
18 bullets, make that 9, goes for the reload. The flush will be there. Team IND dispatching with Box as well in the meantime as Luxy finally falls. That's Bigatron eliminated. 5 teams remaining. A single player from Box, Loki, heading down the side of the mountain, but he'll need to get to the other side as the blue zone will push them in. IND now taking shots on towards Team Secret on the hillside.
Box Gaming's trickster in Loki. Let's see how many cards he still has to pull from the sleeve. But Snack's still searching for him. Hasn't found him as of yet, but he will have to move this soon. Oh no! Find the single pick. No, Snack's just about makes it happen. A beautiful turnaround from him, but Team I&D are looking strong in this circle. Team Secret, the only real other force to contend against them.
Dropping the smokes out on top of the ridgeline as they move along. They want that high ground advantage, but it's going to be so difficult to use. It's just a sliver. The next zone just about to pop as well, just about to come in as I&D move towards Mad Toy. They have the top of this rock. The next zone goes slap bang on top of the forward position from Team Secret.
And this would be a really important game for Team Secret, especially at the start of the day. They're currently in 8th. It would be a really good chance to start getting that money on board to get towards the top of the tables. I&D take heavy damage towards the top side, and still there's 3 players from Team Secret up.
Never has there been a more accurate example of cash money knocks right here, Blank. That was absolutely phenomenal, getting 2 players down. Last player up the top as T1 get dispatched from the side of the mountain. Team I&D eliminated, and now we're down to 2. It's Yudu, Gank, who have survived by hiding on this northern side of Everest, coming up against 4 players from Team Secret. All of them alive, all of them kicking. They've got 12 kills already, Blank.
Yudu gang, they're battered and bruised from the previous fight here. Team Secret, on the other hand, they're feeling healthy, they're feeling rosy and strong here with the 4 members still on board. Yuhai searching for these players, and they have the firm high ground to assist them here. And this, like I said, will be a fantastic start to the day for Team Secret to start laddering up, to start climbing towards the top with 11 kills on board, John.
Drax trying to push up towards the Darcia. Slips down just a little bit, but will make it finally. Using the cover, trying to use that ridgeline. He's spotted out, slips down yet again. Can't go for that peak. And look at the line that Team Secret have set up. There is no way that Yudu can push into this, right?
There's absolutely no way. All of the action of this game happened earlier on, and really now it is just the patient sound of a team waiting to die.
Goodness me. That's a pretty grim fate, and at the hands of Team Secret, I wouldn't expect it to go any other way. Mamparang gets knocked, it's Drax out in the blue, he's going to tick down, and it's Team Secret to take the chicken dinner. They get 13 kills on the game, they hold it down. Plenty of wipes to happen that round as well. Beautiful stuff, beautiful squad play coming out in the Everest finish.
Absolutely crazy stuff at the end there, but the Bigatron push onto RRQ was probably one of my favorite moments in this Super Weekend, if not the whole tournament. How bold was that, John?
Fantastic, absolutely bold, brilliant. That's what we love to see. What a way to kick off the day. We're going to send it back over to the desk to break it down.
The PUBG Mobile World League is brought to you by the title sponsor, Qualcomm Snapdragon Elite Gaming, and the official beverage sponsor, Mountain Dew.
What a way to start off our final day here. Team Secret gets themselves the victory, but from start to finish, there is so much to talk about regarding this game and how it could potentially affect things down the line. Joining me, Avenger and Froz, to get things going. Let's start off, first and foremost, Team Secret get themselves the victory. 13 points. They're challenging around that middle pack right now to get themselves more money on the board, Froz.
The thing is, if they can keep it going like this, with this momentum, they might even crack that middle pack and get themselves into the top pack.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Again, everybody's gunning for the money.
Gunning for the money, that's right. Let's take a look at those points coming in for this game, and we do have up towards the top 33. Nice. Smackaroonies for Team Secret. Team I&D, 19 points coming in for them. Bigatron Red Alien, 17 points. Really trying to push themselves up towards where we're seeing RRQ Athena currently sitting. So evening things up a little bit up in that top 3.
Yeah, evening up in the top 3, but Team I&D, though, taking a step forward now. We saw them yesterday ending the last game with second place 8 kills. Now coming into this one with a third place 9 kills. They seem to be on fire right now.
I gotta say, I'm so sad for you to cannot play playing that last weekend, because they would have been in sixth place right now and been contesting for a really good spot, but they're sitting, unfortunately, all in 13th place. But then again, if they're able to continue this and they do this in the finals, they're going to be looking really, really good in the finals.
So 9th through 16th, and not too many points coming in for these teams. 4 kills for Valdez the Murder, as well as King Gamers Club. But let's start talking about even chronologically how this game unfolded, because from the very word go, RRQ Athena knew that they were going to get dropped on, so they decided we're going to go somewhere else. And then, for some reason, the circles were extremely favorable to them. It was nuts.
So yeah, we saw RRQ Athena actually dropping in Primorsk instead of Pochinki, because we know that Nova Godlike dropped on them twice just there on Erangel. But the thing is, that's a big change up. Going from Pochinki to Primorsk, that's a very big, bold move.
Yeah.
But it worked out. They went to Everest straight up in Circle 1, and somehow they got the circle on top of them time after time.
Ridiculous.
I didn't realize that the warehouses down in Primorsk actually maintained the circle magnet.
That's right.
Guaranteed.
They took it with them.
They found it and they put it into a car and drove it all the way to the mountaintop. Honestly, that is some of the craziest circle lock I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, it was continuously on top of it.
And the best bit as well was Bigatron was on the opposite side of a hard shift and then somehow manages to make the Hail Mary. We'll talk about that in a moment, of course, though, as we take a closer look at Team Secret and the numbers that they were able to put up throughout this game. It's 2,030 damage coming in for Team Secret Froz.
I mean, we saw them coming in from southeast side. They were fighting a lot of teams over there, and they were just basically holding everyone out, because we saw, because of the hard shift down to the west side on top of Everest, there were so many teams coming in from the east there. And of course, Team Secret was one of them, but with a lot of people coming behind you, you got to make sure that you don't get followed. You want to make sure your back is clear.
Exactly.
Let's take a look at our Mountain Dew Do the Do moments.
Yeah, there's some really interesting shots and some really good plays here. I mean, most of the time on the Do the Do moments here, we see some insane skill shots, some really good mechanical skills, and some really good spray control. But I would say some of the most important moments in this tournament was some of the rotations and some of the plays made. We're going to be looking down into that a little bit later, but some of these long-range shots and some of these mini shots here, like Drax is doing it here, but especially from a high ground position, it's so soothing to see, you know, people standing on the top of the mountain just shooting down everybody, just hammering down everybody. It's so lovely to see. I love that.
It was a very rough circle, and we saw Goddard from Valdez, for example, holding off Orange Rock here later on in the game. He was basically saying, "You shall not pass," and just shot them down, make sure that Orange Rock couldn't pass the bridge. But also, of course, we had a big fight going on in the up and downs, and it was BTR versus Box Gaming. Why is that a big fight? Because second and third place positioned teams with only 3 points in between them. They knew that if they took this fight, whoever wins this fight is going to have the upper hand coming up to the next game. So they tried to do it, but it was a little bit late. The blue was coming in, and they both opted to, hey, we'll just continue this fight later on in the game instead.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later in the game, and they both ditched out of it. It was super interesting to see how they both were able to survive for that long. And again, it was the correct play, like fighting outside the new circle to try to get a few points is not the winning move. So both of them managed to survive and get better placement due to that.
RQ, they were holding the Everest, of course. We saw them going there, rotating there in Circle 1, but they had one big mistake. They were splitting up way too much. They wanted to control way too much ground. And with a circle like that, you know that all the teams, they're going to try to go for Everest. And that means that you're going to get pressured from everywhere around you. Of course, the biggest threat of them all was BTR. They were just raining nades on them.
Yeah, and overall, like, especially here in a situation where you play high ground like this, you want to make sure that your back is safe. So, like, going outside the circle, making sure that everybody's clean on one side, and then trying to sweep and play around the edges and try to get into the circle with your back safe is just a big play here. So, Team IND being able to come in on the back here, clean it up, and get into a good position was great. On the other side, Team Secret did that earlier than them and cleaned out the east side of the circle and managed to hold that down for a very long time.
Oof.
Yeah.
That was a good kill. Because Stax didn't even spot him out in the first place. Loki basically just missed his shots on him.
Yeah, definitely so. In the final moments, Team Secret's able to clean things up. Guys, I want to go back to that moment where Bigatron actually pushes up onto the hill, because those are the kind of plays, Avenger, that are extremely important. We have been talking about those throughout the entirety of Pmwl East. But let's take a look at the total damage here for a moment as well, and see... Oh, I didn't do my little hand thing. Oh, it's ruined.
You don't have magic powers, huh?
Look at that, though. Team Secret and Bigatron, 2030 and 2050. Is that the kind of... Is that this like the century or the year that their strategies are in?
That's the range of years we're going to be eventually colonizing Mars.
I think.
2030 to 2050, who knows? We'll see.
Oh, nice.
There you go. So nice to see. Nice to see. 12:45 coming in for Box Gaming, but only one kill.
Only one kill. They had good positioning to actually just shoot everyone, but that didn't translate into any kills after all. They got a few knocks, but you got to translate knocks into kills afterwards.
Yeah, and what a better way is translating knocks into kills than just shooting at everything that's knocked.
Yeah. Top players' time. I was almost going to do this, but I was like, I missed my chance. I missed it.
Microboy 888.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
I like that.
Winning on the slots.
Yep.
We got iShot, Slayer, as well as Yuhai coming on in here. IND actually performed very well in this game, and I liked the direction that they came up when it came to Everest, and were able to win out some pretty important fights.
I will say, though, like... If they were not stuck for that long on the west side with a fight where they had so much pressure from the circle, they potentially could have taken on Team Secret like head to head in a good situation. But the fights just dragged out for so long that you don't have any time to kind of look into the future and see where the circle go and like kind of set up and strategize around where you want to play in your late game.
Telemonstration time.
Correct.
Move Froz.
Moving.
Move Avenger. There you go. Good job. You moved his tablet as well.
What are you doing?
Moving it all.
Don't break it.
Let's look at the demonstration. All right, so obviously the moment everybody talks about, thinks about, and wants to hear about is when...
Tell me!
Bigatron, they go up there.
I don't think they did that kind of arc.
Oh, okay. Well, they were driving, though, so let's look how they did it. So we have to do it now that I'm doing this, obviously. On the mini-map.
Yes, thank you. Very important.
You can see that Bigatron is obviously not inside the circle. They are outside the circle, and they made a rotational move with a one vehicle, which is kind of scary, but they actually made it play. And they're setting it up into a position that guarantees them basically to be inside the next circle, and they survive for quite a long time and are able to take on RQ. Some of the fights here, opening fight onto G9, which is kind of a big one, but it gets traded quickly onto Ryzen. And this is where you're still in a 3v3 situation. This is where you start pulling out nades, right? And this is where you want to win that. And it's easier to throw a nade up here than it is to throw a nade down here, because you're usually going to go that far. Instead of...
It's a long arrow.
Instead of exploding here, it's usually just going to roll all the way down here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, okay. So let's continue to play this clip here and see how they do this. Ryzen actually ends up getting killed because he nearly got flushed, so he ends up getting killed. And now they're in a 3v3. So here you see the nade. Kind of thrown up there, and now it's only D2E, I believe it's only, right? It's only D2E?
Yes, only D2, I think.
Yeah. So he's alive, and this is where, again, I'm talking about it again, window of opportunity. You have to capitalize on this, right? While James is... What are you doing?
Nothing. Keep going.
And obviously capitalizing on this, pushing on this, making sure that, you know what, we have 2 knocks. We want to make sure that we get this finished up, and they finished this up very nicely in less than a minute.
I was stroking my beard, Avenger.
Yeah, I was looking
curiously, thinking about all the things that could potentially happen. Because I think what was really cool about it was they were trapped in that fight against Box Gaming for a long time. And obviously that's kind of a high-profile fight. So they just kind of wanted to eject from that situation as quickly as possible.
Right. It wasn't only Box Gaming. They were also pressured from Team Secret on the E side as well before that. But the whole thing was that before they started moving as well, Bigatron, they actually got 1 knock on Box Gaming, on Pmwl, and that one got them to move safely, because Box Gaming wanted to get Pmwl back up, of course, but they knew that, and they took the opportunity there and drove straight up. And also, the first guy Bigatron knocks is G9, the best nader so far in the game.
Yeah,
that is super important, because he's the one who's going to have the best chance to nade BTR in a situation like that.
Gentlemen, let's look at the overall standings and see what's happened after this game, because
my God,
our top 3 is getting closer and closer. Bigatron Red Aliens will take over Box Gaming here. here to start things off for our first game. But with 4 games remaining, it's still anybody's guess.
Yes.
Team Secret pushing themselves up from 8th place down up to a 5th place right now.
Nice.
Not far behind, but still sure, 30-something points behind. TSM Entity is not a team to sleep on either. They could pull off some big numbers today. We saw them here in the last game, getting 8th place with 6 kills. That's a good average game. So if they keep on going, and we've seen that TSM Entity has been strong, they might be fighting for some of the top spots.
Let's take a look at our 11th through 20th as well and see what's what, because we have a few moves. One move, you do gank, goes above Synergy, and I mean Synergy's not playing, so. And for 19th through 20th, Froz, what's the status right now?
30 points per game. It's the average that Morph needs to hit.
30 points per game.
10 kill
win
for the rest
of the day here. And Morph will be able to take over Reject Scarlet.
So what you're saying is it's possible.
It's still possible.
Nice.
We're talking purely mathematically here, right?
No. He's saying just in every facet.
Okay, fantastic.
There you go. Yeah, thank you.
It's still a probability.
Yes, there you go.
Very slight.
Great. So, moving on, we are going to check out how things are going on in-game right now because the Royal Pass is ready. It's Season 14. Let's go. Splendid stuff. Get yourself the Royal Pass, get it going, get leveling up. Good. There's also tons of other stuff in game. I got myself that nice purple orb recently.
Yeah,
Froz
I did not.
Didn't. How many rolls again? Do remind us how many rolls you got really unlucky on.
Are you trying to do? Are you really asking me this?
Yes.
46.
46 rolls. He got nothing.
We're putting up another 10 rolls.
And James got it in like a 10.
I got it in like 25. Yeah, not bad. Let's take a look at the schedule. We got 4 more games coming at you today. It's going to be Vikendi, Miramar, Sandhawk, Erangel. All of the variation, all of the time. It's the Super Weekend. Oh, the first game was so good as a prelude to start off everything for the day of entry. It was really, really tantalizing.
Even though it was curveballs of circles, it was yoinking circles all over the place. And really make the games interesting. And especially when you have teams that are making great plays despite being in the worst possible position all the time.
I mean, the great thing is that even if BTR didn't push up on towards RRQ, they would have still been fighting against Box Gaming, Froz, and that is in itself a top 3 fight right there for the positions today.
Yeah, I'm telling you, one team you don't want to fight in the next game, that's going to be Box Gaming. Currently, we played 2 Vikendis here in the Super Weekend, and Box Gaming has won both of those Vikendis.
Ooh.
Right.
Will they make it a triple?
That would be sick.
That would be insane. Do you think box formation might come into effect?
I want to see that box formation.
Yeah?
We know that one is so strong.
Yeah.
Take the compound that is the most square and put a box around it.
There's Box Gaming against Bigatron Red Aliens, and of course these two are battling it out right now. And again, both of them trying to reach to the position that RRQ Athena is in, but it's very possible that any 3, or maybe even other teams, if they have an amazing day, could reach that position, Froz.
Yeah, I mean, right now, still, anything is possible with 4 games left. We're seeing so many of the teams that are chasing for top spots right now, stepping up enormously, and whew, it's getting hot. It's getting spicy on the leaderboard.
Let's do it. Vikendi time. Let's go to our commentators. Xander and John, take it away.
I don't know what you're doing, Blank, but I've just started copying you behind, and it's going quite well. Come on,
give me the cast.
Come on, bring it over here. Come on.
All right, give me the cast now.
Hello and welcome to the caster desk. My name is John Allen. With me is my good friend Blank. We've got a great game for you today.
Thanks, John. Nice intro. Now we're going to get into a really bloodthirsty map on Vikendi. You thought it was a kid show. You fought again. But here we go. Going down from the north side to Mavatra. So Dino Park definitely going to be where this circle ends up.
That's a prediction.
That's a prediction.
He's done it.
That's a prediction, boys.
All right.
It's going to go all the way up to what he did yesterday, which is like...
Goodness me, can you imagine?
Yeah, to the northern hemisphere, basically.
Absolutely. We'll see if we do have a strong yoinker, but of course we all do love
a yoinker, don't we?
Big fan of a yoinker. But we'll see if it does end up that way.
Carry on.
Or towards Dino Park. TSM Entity dropped out towards Cosmodrome.
Yep.
Maybe, yeah, they're going to be dropping around there. A western circle here, centering south of Garoka, southeast of Dobromesto. A lot of the teams have started to head out east, actually. I mean, we know how much these teams all like to go on
East League goes east.
On that 090 bearing. You know, that's a solid direction for everyone else.
You love it, you love it, you love it. Anyway, yeah, I think most teams are okay, though. This map's fairly small, should be easy enough to get across. I think most teams just worry about crossing those frozen wastes that cut down through Castle. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this game goes. And the devs were talking about how RQ got like a lot of that circle look last game, which, let's be honest, they did. It was kind of crazy, and I enjoyed Avenger saying that they picked up the circle magnet from Primos. That's the only reason they went down to Primos, by the way. They were like, someone told them, actually, did you know that the legendary circle magnet is actually located in the docks?
Well, I mean, what do you think the quarry's for?
I know, that was...
They're digging for circle magnets. And they ship them out of Primorsk. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So they had the stockpile in the warehouses in Primorsk. They picked them up and they took them north. Well, you know.
Yeah, that's the purpose.
I thought that was obvious. I thought everyone knew
that's Erangel law, right? That's what it's all about.
That is Erangel law. That is absolutely a 100% my own headcanon and no way accurate to the game.
But let's take a look at the map really quickly. I mean, you guys can't see it. Doesn't matter. I'm going to give you a really good breakdown regardless. But RQ really split up right now. You've got one player in G9 in Villa. You've got a couple of players in Garoka. And RQ, you've got D2E on top of Mount Kresnik. So he's not done with the mountains yet. It's like, guys, I'm enjoying the hiking. I wish to do more. So they have a really... quite a large split at the moment, which is fairly interesting. And what we've seen mainly from the Vikendi circles, Kalaris was mentioning it the other day, where he was on about maybe we tweak the first 4 circles. I don't know, maybe. They're a little bit slow, but I think the teams like that slowness. You know, it gives them a lot of chance to get into position. And it's a bit more of a calculated map, right?
They're just chilling out and vibing. That's what they like to do. A little bit slow, a little bit steady, and hopefully steady incomes of points as well. That's really what it's all about. Obviously, with that last game, Bigatron doing really quite well to be able to dismount them, getting plenty of kills on board and putting himself a little bit closer in competition for that top spot. Overtaking Box Gaming as well in that chase, but see if they're able to do it again. They're currently next to Bigatron, that is, currently next to T1 and U Level Up as well on the north side. They might spot out T1 rotating actually out towards the east, but they're not looking downhill, not to the south of Winery, so they'll be okay for now. 3 players in a vehicle. It's almost a cardinal sin.
It's almost. Not quite, though. Almost. And almost is okay.
Punishable by squad wipe.
Punishable by squad wipe, yes. Let's talk really quickly about TSM Entity. I know I said that at the very beginning of the last game, but
Let's do that.
I think it is pertinent here purely because they had a really standout beginning to their last game, and then things kind of went downhill as they started to try and take control on top of the mountain. And we know that they love Erangel and do well, but Vikendi has been typically a map that they're not so great on. We've seen a lot of interesting plays from TSM Entity on this map, specifically getting caught by Box Gaming towards the north side on port, crashing into trees and then suddenly dying. So, for me, like I said at the start of the day, I had a good feeling about TSM Entity. I think this will be really the map that carves out whether it's going to be a good run going forward. If they could do well on what I believe to be their worst map, I think there is a good chance for them going forward today to at least try and get towards the top of the standings, right?
Yeah, well, hopefully. I mean, that's what everyone's gunning for, right? But only one can stand atop the lot, and it will be 50 grand as the prize to take home for that one, as well as the qualification spot to earn a potential extra $100,000.
Yeah, they are gunning for more money.
Oh, I'd love to have that money. You okay? Do I need to get you a glass of water?
Get me some money.
Bring me some money.
Bring me the money.
Loads of money. Fantastic. Well, I mean, you know, as much as it is about the money, it's also about the
pride.
The clout, the pride you can get for winning, being the best in Season 0 in the first PUBG Mobile World League. That's what you want. That's the sort of accolade that you want to put in a Twitter bio.
That's big clout, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's big clout.
That's going straight on the Instagram. That's going straight on the
That's going to be on
Twitter.
the Twitter for 3 years. Like, it won't even matter 3 years down the line, but it'll still be in the Twitter bio. Victor of Season 0 of PUBG Mobile World League.
80-year-old veteran players. They'll be like, I remember back in 2020 during the great pandemic, I was the PUBG Mobile World League East champion.
Season 0, the very beginning of the PUBG Mobile World League Championships.
And they'll be like, Grandpa, why are you speaking English?
Grandpa, why are you doing that? This is very strange, Grandpa.
What's going on? This is curious.
I don't know. Maybe that's what happens in the future. Maybe everyone's got kind of like those...
Everyone speaks in just the voice lines from PUBG Mobile.
No. It's all right. There's not many voice lines in PUBG Mobile.
I know, that's what makes it really tricky.
Yeah. Loot drop over here. Ammo.
Enemies over there.
Enemies ahead.
Oh, dear. Bigatron and South on Winery, they've been left alone now, so they did have quite a few teams close by, but they've all seemed to have absconded the region. You Level Up have moved north towards Morse Gaming's location right now, and T1, they've headed out all the way east to Hot Springs.
Yeah, I mean, it's slightly interesting, but I mean, T1, they like to go for this they're a really big northern rotation, right, where they swing around, but at the moment it's pretty easy for them just to come on down, past Hot Springs, over the bridge, into the circle itself. And honestly, I'm going to make a bold prediction right now, John. Very bold, I know. But I think most teams are going to fling themselves across the very much western coast toward Dobromesto and then just take up residence all these buildings. We've seen it time and time again where teams just start to clump up and it's like a race to get the most coastal compound that you can get. Obviously, you don't want to be too much on the rocks because it doesn't really afford you much getting out potential. You got a little cheeky smirk on your face. You're going to say something funny?
No, I was just thinking more about really old people who have played games their whole life. I'm sorry, but that's just retirement homes are going to be great when we're older, Blank.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to be one constant LAN party.
I'm going to have VR going on. I'm going to have VR meetups, you know.
You're going to know Kung Fu.
I'm going to know Kung Fu.
I need to be plugged into the Matrix. It's going to be great.
I'm going to need to know how to drive a Dacia.
Uploading it now.
Uploading the information right now.
Goodness me. They'll have taken a couple of lessons, you know, and it all starts here. Those tutorials.
It all starts here.
It all starts here in Season 0.
Exactly. We're going to have like really cool VR meetups where I'm playing PUBG Mobile with the boys.
And who knows, they'll probably be powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon Elite gaming processors.
Exactly. Pogi Mogi with the boys with my Qualcomm Snapdragon Elite processor.
And a lovely, cool, refreshing Mountain Dew to top it off.
Wow, I think if I'm drinking Mountain Dew into my 80s, I'll be doing pretty well for myself. Like, there'll be some serious advancements in terms of technology. We haven't really talked about the game at all.
I mean, it is Vikendi.
It is Vikendi, so at the moment, nothing's really happening. We're sorry, guys. We hope you enjoy the John Allen and Blank podcast. But yeah, getting back to the game, I think RRQ's kind of pushed themselves back together again. The strings have been pulled taut as the players enter towards south of Goroka. I don't know why I had a voice break there, but I did. Team IND, they're on the east side. They're coming across from Podvosto. Things are fine, and yeah, we're just heading into Circle 2. But GXR Celt, they take a little knock here onto rocks. They're just outside from RRQ, and RRQ taking some more bullets, but they get just behind the rock in time.
Unfortunately, though, RRQ still are up top. Bear takes a lot of damage, but G9 lobs out the Molotov. Will relocate them, stop them from pushing. It was a little bit short, maybe you needed to push a little bit further. You could see Ernie on the roof, up the hill. They actually have a flank coming in right from the other side. You can see on the minimap across the road, they've got that player there. I believe that's D2E for RRQ, and so they have this fight pretty much covered off. Yeah, there it is, D2E over there in his own building.
Yeah.
And they're going to be looking to try and pincer onto GXR Celts.
They can kind of wait this one out. I think that's the big thing here, is that because of the position they own, GXR Celts, although they're pretty safe inside this building, they're also not going anywhere. You know, like in the movies where they snap I think they also do this in real life, but you know, when they snap the handcuffs onto either of the person's wrists. So yeah. To your wrist and my wrist, I would be the police officer, you'd be the criminal, obviously. Whoa! Look at that hard shift. That's pretty wild.
Can't believe you skimmed over that really quickly. You just call me a criminal, Blank. Goodness me.
You do steal loot crates.
That is true. They are mine. They are my own property.
No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, I see them.
Mine.
And it's mine now.
call it first. Oh, I saw that loot crate as it was falling from the sky. Mine. That's mine.
That's my crate.
Yeah.
Stay away from my crate.
We need to like think of, you know, like shotgun, but instead it's like loot crate. What would be the phrase for a loot crate? If you see it first, you get it.
Crowbar.
Oh, that's actually good. If you're seeing the loot crate in game, guys, and you shout crowbar before anyone else, and you saw it first,
You get to pry open that crate and get that juicy loot.
that's your loot. That's how we're going to decide it from now on. First to say crowbar, bish bash bosh, wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
It's the best system. No system is better.
No system is better. Like, even when you don't get the front seat in the car, if you've lost the shotgun call, you know that you are a loser and you deserve to be in the back of the vehicle.
It is true. It is.
This is factual.
It is it is an age-old tradition that doesn't need to be changed.
Yeah, as our boy Wi-Fi would say, this is factual.
This is factual.
Yeah, this is factual. And also, he'd get back to this and say, well, he wouldn't say this is a movie right now. Because
He would say, John and Blank, stop prattling on. Let's talk about the game. TSM Entity are currently holding a compound to the southwest of Goroka, and they're guarding out any potential rotations from the Megastars and Orange Rock. Compound-based play, so we're only looking for a little bit here or there. Nothing really major in terms of maneuvers from the center. What I'm looking at really blank in the terms of rotations is T1, Udu Gank. Those two teams very close to each other, southwest of Movatra. Could be a little bit of a firecracker spot.
someone might light the fuse. I'm not sure yet. T1 bring up the rear. Udu were able to get the second place last game, and although they went on pretty unnoticed, that's still 14 points on the board in terms of placements, which is really, really nice. You level up here, they went down a little bit earlier, slightly different to what we're kind of used to from them, right? Because they tend to be, recently at least, been very, very strong. Looking around the map, Valdus the Murder, another team that I want to keep my eyes on. Talking to Imperium earlier on today, and he was saying that maybe this is a team that we think is going to start rattling forward, especially in the league finals. Right now, they're a bit down the table, so there's still a chance for them to get towards the top and get that big money. But he was saying that, you know what, I think in the league finals, they could really pick it up. And I'd agree. I think there's a few things they need to maybe tighten up a little bit, but with players like Martin, Joan on side, I think they've got a real chance.
It's a journey, but one that someone must tread in the end, Blank. It's not always easy, but that's what we love to see when those difficult journeys are made, when they reach their final destination. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. The excitement that you find from a job well done.
Yes. Very good. Speaking of job well done, good job, Circle. Nice and central-ish. Bit of water in here, but Nova Godlike.
Motion for that circle.
There is fighting, John. Uh-oh. There is fighting.
Uh-oh. It's Nova Godlike and Box Gaming in the north, and it's Loki who has gone down for Box Gaming. Nova Godlike able to catch the player left behind, the straggler for Box, as they have headed further south. There's no way they were going to go for that save. Nicely done for Nova Godlike, but they still have to move down south, and Box Gaming ahead of them.
Indeed, John. Again, this actually does mean a lot here.
Such a loud noise for such a slow snowmobile there.
That's esports plus right there.
Absolutely.
This is actually a really important game, though. Let's be honest for a second, because obviously teams are really, really gunning towards the top side. Seidan actually taking a fight with BTR. It sounds like T1 again having the BTR having the better of T1 at the moment, sadly.
Missile has gone down, has been flushed as well, which means that they could run up a player. Udu Gank are just over the hill as well from this fight. They might try and third party, but it's You Level Up who have spotted Udu at distance as they try to sail on past. Not going to be engaging in this fight, but they're going to be in one of their own as the crash comes down. Udu want to find Hoshuan up in the top there. They will do so. Jumper able to get the knock. The flash will come through. It's just a matter of time. The Micro Uzi finishes it off, and they're trying to take the fight with the rest of You Level Up, but the nades are starting to come through. Winter pushes close. Jumper out the window. They're going for the 2 versus 1. A vault from Winter. Oh dear, I'm not too sure you want to be going for that. Unfortunately, Udu Gank able to pick up the knock. Chia-Xin last standing for You Level Up as it's 2 players moving up wide. Jumper sails around the corner. Fredo soon to follow. A lot of damage found. He holds off against 2. Chia-Xin looking to go big. Here's Mambarang swings out, and that's a 3rd foul for Chia-Xin. 1 player left. It's Drax, a sliver of HP. He spins out, but he doesn't have the reload. Oh, not enough bullets left in the magazine, and you do stay alive after a catastrophic series of peaks.
It would have been 1 bullet. just the one bullet. And in that situation, Chashin would have been able to take down Yudu Gang, but Chashin has always been showing himself up to be a really strong player, but in comes BTR, have that vehicle.
Yeah, you, Darcia, you stay behind that wall. Yudu Gang, though, they're all very low. They're off the back of that really tricky fight. There's only 3 of them alive, and Zuxi's hunting them down with the micro Uzi. First to face will be going through. Mamparang gets the heal off. The first aid is there, but takes a lot of damage. Zuxi as well, though, is going to be taking hefty chunks, and they're holding it down for now. Blank, but Drax is found. Luxy from the back will be able to spot out the angle. Mamparang is the close face. The first hold as the heal comes through for Zuxi. And that's going to give him the confidence just to beam down Mamparang. There's now 2 players left for Yudu.
Fredo investing to get the resurrection coming through at BTR. We know they do not stop. Look at them all pushing, zigzagging through. Fredo's able to find 1, but how many more will he get? And that is them down. Ryzen will finish it up.
They're able to get the flush on Zuxi, though, so Bigatron down to 3, south side of the circle, as it does shift up towards Dobromesto. And they will be in the next one for now. No one really around to third party. T1 a little bit too far away to capitalize on this.
Box Gaming, it's time. Box 4 initiated.
Oh, you're right.
Towards the west side, they found their way into the circle. And now we can start to say that Box Gaming, this is where they start to power up. This is like their Dragon Ball Z sequence where they start to scream for 10 episodes.
I think we're on about we're on episode 4, Blank.
Episode 4 right now. We're on our way. The screaming is progressively getting louder. The hair is getting a more vibrant color.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're up to an electric shade of yellow right now.
I would say so. I'm waiting for the electric blue.
Yeah, we'll be pushing in a little bit further later on. So we'll see how they're able to hold in that energy. And they're going to go a little bit further Super Saiyan, but instead they're going to move out of the center of, well, not the center really, but the compound that they had on the roadside near that loot crate, and they're going to go to the other side of the road a little bit further east.
They're just trying to set themselves up.
Box Gaming I was talking about.
I know.
I was clarifying.
You were clarifying. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. You did have a lot of days yesterday, so this is good. I'm joking, John.
You're not.
I know I'm not.
Oh, dear. I love it when you call me out live.
Oh, Joe, it's the joke. It was a joke. It wasn't real.
Oh, dear. Well, it's certainly no joke that RRQ lose D2E on a rotate. Their vehicle goes boom, and RRQ down to 2.
They are down to 2, so this is slightly bad at the start, but also good for teams like Bigatron as well as Box Gaming. They want to catch RRQ Athena up. They currently are on 472 points, Bigatron with 458, and Box Gaming just in third, a little bit lagging behind with 452, but by no means not ahead of the rest of the pack.
A single nade might be enough to do it, but they haven't thrown one in just yet. The Megastars are going to be holding down RRQ as they're crossing to the other side of the road. Ernie gets re-knocked, and G9 still behind the rock, gets spotted out. And that's a kill going through. It's TSM Entity coming in, actually. Jonathan helping out in that fight, but that is RRQ eliminated, Blank. And it's like you were saying just now, that's great news for Bigatron, Red Aliens, and for Box Gaming in their pursuit of that big 5-0K.
Oh, dear me. This is pretty interesting. Next circle comes through, heads towards Box Gaming again. So, you know, this is kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy. You love to see it. TSM Entity also in a good position here.
RRQ having died, obviously the Circle Magnets transferred back to Box Gaming, as they rightly should be. TSM Entity moving in towards the location as Box actually sent back to the compound they were holding before to go deeper into the circle as everybody's sending in. Okay, this is a big, big rotation. You can see the crunch starting to happen. T1 going to be clashing with TSM Entity on this push. Plenty of damage being thrown out either way. Bigatron have a lot of space on the south side as they mount up behind some rocks, and everybody in the southeast struggling to move through. T1 get eliminated.
That was fast. TSM Entity actually find themselves this rocky formation here, so things are pretty nice. They're happy to be in this situation. It's a good place to be. We've seen a lot of teams try and hold this down, provide you a lot of interesting cover. It does mean that you're a little bit susceptible to getting crashed upon, so you will need to hold those high grounds down yourself, but also be careful about not getting your head blown off.
Certainly ideal situations don't involve having your head blown off, Blank. It's unfavourable, to say the least. It's pretty difficult to operate the rest of your body without your brain. It's, some would say impossible.
Yeah, it's pretty damn impossible, to be honest with you. But we'll see what happens. I mean, What you see on the screen, though, is Megastars with one player down. This is a bit stressful as Orange Rock actually start to push in.
They steal the vehicle and they're out of there like a shot. Paradox left wondering what the hell just happened. As Orange Rock leave the compound, 2 vehicles strong. The rest of Megastars a little bit further across the way. Actually, they have 3 vehicles. Marvy gets blown up.
Oh dear.
Vexy strikes back and they go 1-for-1 overall on this engagement on the northeastern side of the circle, trying to move forward. Scout, he gets shot down as well as Paradox lands it, but Viru trades it off beautifully. The blue zone will engulf them, and with the bullets thrown their way, Orange Rock will get eliminated.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Long have we waited. Snaking overrated. Box Fort is activated in this circle towards the end here. Let's see what happens with Box Gaming going forward as all teams have to go over there. Froz, so happy on the desk, making a little box of his own in midair.
I would love to get a recording of that box dance from Froz. I think that needs to
we'll
be...
get that on desk, it's fine.
That needs to be on every single break, on repeat. Absolutely love it. That's what we want to see. But he's right, though, to be fair. Box Gaming, they have a corner of the... I say a corner of the... Circles don't have corners, Blank. It's one of their defining characteristics.
They do. They have just infinite corners, though.
That's not true. So, where do you want to go now?
With this specific one, because it's pixelated, I am correct. Well, it's not infinite here. We'll have a certain amount of corners. I don't know how many, but there's lots of them.
Okay, look. A circle
But you have to agree with me. I am right by saying that.
A pixelated circle is not a circle. Technically. I know we call it a circle. It is more of a fond name.
It'd be like...
It is an approximation of a circle.
Like a dodecahedron.
It is a fairly accurate approximate of a circle, but approximation of a circle. Bigatron, they're being challenged for their spot yet again by Team IND, obviously re-engaging their fight from Everest in the last game on the coastal rocks here. Seems like they can't get away from the cliffs, from the climbing situations. Team IND trying to find Micro Boy as it's the outpost for Bigatron, and the rest of them can't really back him up too well. Slayer and Trance just looking for those angles. Oh, Luxy is going to be able to find the first, and Ryzen finds the second. Trance falls, takes a tumble. Slayer now has the smoke that's been popped and should be able to get that res, but wants to find some shots first.
Micro Boy's so silent. Just the bottom here, and Ikea Gamers also towards this fight too, looking to make their way in. Bigatron have made their way all the way to the western side of the coast. We can see Team Secret actually taking a fight with Nova Godlike, who are doing a hell of a amount of work onto them, but it is Soup actually going down. Snacks, damn, he's so low, but somehow survives.
Manages to keep it going, but Braga very, very close. Concept gets knocked in the meantime as Slayer is going to fall as well. Oh, he dips around the side again. No way! Braga goes down. That's disastrous. Snacks, he doesn't need a health bar, Blank. He's just going to gun you down with a micro Uzi. Braga falls, and now it's just Bozza getting the res on towards Concept for the rest of the team. Team IND finally take a couple knocks. Snacks back to full as Braga has been knocked. Bozza making a forwards push around the edge of the rock. It hasn't gone well for his teammates, and I don't think it's going very well for him either. Finally, Snacks gets displaced, but Bozza gets taken out by Trance further down the hill.
Oh, perfect stuff from here. Balance the Murder actually crossing into Box Gaming's fort. They will have to move now as the circle heads towards the northwest, John. Team IND are out, but what a valiant attempt from Snacks to keep that one going. Can see Zay here, snaking away. Does Micro Boy know he's here? It won't matter anyway. Zay will have to get onto the coastal side if he wants to take some shots, but TSM Entity is what we're talking about at the beginning of the game, John. I want to see them do well as they take a couple of knocks and die.
That's...
Oh, stop cursing people, please.
Oh, dear, Blank. 7 kills found for TSM Entity already, and they have 3 players alive. Jonathan has been knocked. Valdus the Murder, not so lucky. Only 1 kill, 1 player. Martin, very, very close to the box fort, to Box Gaming, who have to move for the next zone.
They will as they move towards the north, leaving Martin behind them. We know how much Martin likes to shoot people in the back, so we'll see if he can have some patience and wait this one out and not be tempted to shoot Box Gaming as they're running away. Obviously, Zay still making his way in. Team Secret still having this fight with Nova Godlike. You can see they're taking a couple of knocks, and now Break has made his way in. We can see TSM Entity still holding down this rocky outcrop, just dancing around the corners.
I love that rocky area, Blank. It's so dangerous, but so strong if you can hold all the entrances.
Yeah.
It's fantastic cover, and nades less effective sometimes if you can move around those cracks.
But TSM Entity, with such fantastic mechanical skill, they can hold this down. As one player does knock into it, Jonathan goes down. That is Team Secret actually taking shots from up on high after they tried to clear on Nova Godlike.
Box Gaming as well, moving in towards the outcrop of TSM Entity. Z-God, you can see he's just holding in behind the rock right now. Louis and Break both pushed across the road. Pmwl will be bringing up the rear. Z-God just waiting, biding time right now. They should be able to scout this one out as they get back in the vehicles. Break, still unaware of the presence of Z-God, it seems, but Louis sends out wide, and now he opts to spring the trap. Unfortunately for him, it's given back as good as he's given. And Z-God is going to get knocked. Box Gaming can move into these rocks now, Blank.
They can break us out, and then that is the rocky outcrop opened up. But just as they find cover here, the circle moves away from them once again. Jonathan, as well as Clutch God, back up to full HP. They have a really good spot in this circle. Team Secret will have to leave this compound, as will Nova Godlike. So they know they need to clear Nova Godlike here for fear of getting third-partied when they leave themselves. So you can see Encore there out in the circle beginning to heal. Bigatron also have to make the cross from the coastal side. TSM Entity, they are very much still in this game, John.
Absolutely, Blank. They've got a lot of cover, a lot of power. Bigatron, they're mounting up to make this next push with 3 players themselves. Micro Boy going just behind the ridge of this beach as it's still going to zone towards the coast. Plenty of shots going off here as Encore tries to peek towards TSM Entity. Box Gaming, oh, they get spotted out from the sidelines by Bigatron. Break gets flushed. 2 players left standing now as Jonathan just absolutely destroys the final player from Megastars. They're taken down, nicely done. 2 players from TSM Entity, they're still in the circle. 2 players from Box, they have to push.
Yeah, TSM Entity's position has definitely been revealed to a lot of these teams, though. Box Gaming's Pmwl, one of their best players on the team, starting to make his way around. BTR opting to take this coastal side, like you said, just playing around the ridge. And Team Secret, they've left Nova Godlike behind, and they're investing smokes to make sure that they cannot be seen as they start to scuttle around underneath this compound and get into the circle.
No teams with 4 players alive, Blank. It's only 3-man squads from Team Secret and Bigatron. The rest of them all on 2. Goodness me, that's an M249 for Yuhai. A really strong weapon, especially in these final circles.
Now Box Gaming being pushed further towards TSM Entity. I'm really curious to see how that fight ends up. But right now we can see Team Secret actually paying off for them to leave Nova Godlike and move down to the bottom 4s. Louis has to run forward and he'll run directly into TSM Entity if he's not careful.
They're just below that ridge line. Nova Godlike taking shots now towards Team Secret, but finally they're taken down. Yuhai takes a bit of damage from the nade. It's instantly healed up by the stims, and the next nade will find nothing either. Bigatron on that coastline with Luxy being knocked. They'll be able to get that res, and they'll be back to 3.
God. Moves up, finds Pmwl, immediately knocks him down, drops straight immediately back to the ground afterwards. He knows a player will be coming from top. Microboy spots out Clutch God, getting a little bit too aggressive there, drops to the floor.
And will be going for the flush as well, sees Clutch God, but it's Team Secret now to start to push towards Bigatron. Oh no, they're just staying behind the wall, but Louis pops up, pops down again. Yuhai is going to fall, will get flushed, and Clutch God wants to find the kill onto Louis. Goodness me, it's like whack-a-mole here, Blank, in these final circles. Clutch God just popping up, popping down, and he doesn't want to go aggressive because Louis knows as soon as he steps up, Bigatron are going to beam him.
He really wants to get that 3rd place position. Now Louis inside the blue. Clutch God's got to make a move. Just trying to scuttle to the side. And there's Matt Toy actually preventing Clutch God from going down. And Clutch God makes a shot onto Matt Toy. This could go extremely well. He's going to try throw a grenade. But look, the rest of the players from Bigatron are behind him. They're all healing. Clutch God might just have clutched this one out.
He's got 4 first aid kits. Will start to pop it. Oh, Louis! He pops up, takes down 1 player. Now needs to go for the heal. Now more than ever, but he doesn't have enough time. And it's Team Secret behind the wall. They're able to out-heal the zone. Get that chicken dinner. Goodness me, what a finish.
What a hugely bold moment there from Louis to drop up and actually take down Clutch God. It's just an incredible amount of patience from this guy to wait that out. And that could be insanely good for Box Game. We know that they're chasing the guys at the top. What a fantastic game. Louis is going to be so happy with that one.
They were 4, and then down to 3, then down to 2, then finally down to 1, and they make it all the way to 2nd. Beautiful stuff.
Double chicken dinners, though, in a row.
Fantastic. It's Team Secret. Chicken dinner yet again.